we'll ground down here. You can sit cross-legged if that's comfortable, or maybe sit on the shins in a hero's pose if that feels better in the body. But wherever you're at, do your best to find a simultaneous lift and grounding in the body. So the sit bones are rooted into the earth, and the crown of the head is lengthening up nice and tall towards the ceiling. Almost like there's a puppet string attached to the top of the head and someone's pulling up just gently on you. And as you find that length, see if you can ground down through the shoulders, just like you did through the sit bones, really releasing them, letting gravity draw them down. And allow the attention to transition and focus on the breath. Feeling each inhale and each exhale. Maybe starting to draw your awareness to any lingering thoughts. Picturing them as clouds passing through the sky. Just noticing them without judgment and without attachment. See them, release them. And as you continue to ground down, connect to the breath, start drawing your awareness away from those lingering thoughts. And I invite you to consider today, as we start our practice, this question of what limitations might you feel on the mat? And as you start to come up with these limitations, see if you can distinguish between what limitations are self-imposed, so ones that you've created for yourself, and what limitations are real boundaries. And those real boundaries might be related to maybe anatomically your body can't access certain things on the mat, or for safety reasons. But taking a moment to settle in on where we are at each time we arrive on the mat as it relates to these limitations. And again, distinguishing between self-imposed ones and real ones. And as you begin to recognize these self-imposed limitations, I invite you to set an intention around them. As we start our practice together today, what can you do to avoid fearing these limitations? To avoid letting them control the work you do on your mat? What shifts need to happen within you to prepare you to break down those barriers? And we'll be exploring some energizing practices today. Maybe some postures that might feel challenging to you, and I invite you to hold this intention close to your heart on the mat today. Reminding yourself of which limitations are self-imposed, and reminding yourself of how you plan to defeat them. Remembering that the act of trying, the act of showing up in and of itself is a success. Take a big deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Breathe in again. Breathe out. Breathing in the strength to defeat those limitations today, and exhaling out any fear you might be holding on to. And as you're ready, you can blink the eyes open and come back into this space. Beautiful. On an inhale, allow the arms to sweep up overhead, lengthen through the body. Exhale, draw the hands towards heart center. 2 more just like that. Breathing in to lengthen tall. Breathing out to draw the hands to the heart. Maybe pulling that intention back in close. Breathe in to lift. Breathe out, hands to heart. Beautiful. Take an inhale here. And an exhale. The next time you breathe in, allow the right hand to come down to the mat. Reach the left arm up overhead. And then exhale to lean over towards that right side for a side body stretch. And see if you can drop that left shoulder down away from the ear a little bit more. And maybe roll it back slightly to rotate the chest towards the front. Beautiful. Inhale to release, bring the left arm down towards the mat, and exhale, relax the shoulders. Beautiful. And we'll take that to the other side, inhaling the right arm up, left arm to the mat, exhaling over to the left side. Right arm is lifted high. Again, checking in with that top shoulder here. Beautiful. And inhaling to rise, bringing that right hand down towards the mat. And exhale, relax the arms, relax the shoulders. Beautiful. We'll move on to our hands and knees here, coming into tabletop position. And resting the wrists right underneath the shoulders, the knees right underneath the hips, finding a nice strong foundation here. So spread the fingers nice and wide. And press the tops of the feet into the mat to ground yourself down. Coming into some cow and cat movements here. Inhaling for cow pose as the tailbone lifts. Shine the chest towards the front. And exhaling for cat pose, tuck the tailbone in, round the spine up towards the ceiling. Inhale for cow pose, belly drops, tailbone lifts. Exhale, cat pose, press through the hands, round the spine up. And follow the breath here, in and out of cow and cat. Maybe starting to channel this Ujjayi breath. This breath to help create heat in the body, to help us find control in our practice. Breathing in and out of the nostrils, keeping the lips sealed. And as you exhale, creating this oceanic sound with the breath, as you constrict the back of the throat. Feel free to take any additional movements here in tabletop that might feel good to you, rocking the hips side to side. Beautiful. And then as you're feeling done with cow-cat, feeling nice and warm here, guide yourself into a child's pose. Taking the knees out wider than the hips, drawing the toes together to touch. And let the forehead come down towards the earth. You can take this child's pose actively by reaching the fingertips forward while pressing the hips back. Or maybe you take a more passive version here, relaxing the arms alongside the body. Find your version of child's pose for the next few breaths of grounding and settling. Continuing to connect to that Ujjayi breath. Taking one last chance here to reconnect to that intention as we dive into the physical practice. How will you confront those limitations as they arise on your mat? Take a big breath in and a big breath out. And your next inhale, allow the body to rise back up into that tabletop position. So coming onto our hands and knees once more. Knees draw underneath the hips. And we'll bring a little movement warming up into the legs here. So draw the right foot up in between the hands. Setting up for a low lunge, Anjaneyasana. So back knee is down, top of the back foot's pressing down into the earth. Front knee is over that front ankle. Inhale to reach the arms up over your head. Beautiful. Exhale, relax the shoulders down the back. And you can find movement here if that might feel good for you. Maybe you press through the front foot to rock in and out of the hips if that's okay. Or maybe it feels better to hold strong and static. Find your version of low lunge that works for you. Breathing into the posture. And on your next breath, release the hands down to frame the front foot. Coming into a half split here, lengthen through the front leg. Sit the hips back over the back knee to stretch deeply into the back of that right leg. You can flex the toes up towards the face to really actively engage those muscles, or maybe you point and flex that front foot if that might feel better. Breathing into any discomfort or tightness. Inhaling to rock back forward into your low lunge. This time, plant the left hand inside the right foot. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, reach the right arm up and open to twist. You can keep the back knee grounded here, or maybe you lift that back knee to intensify the twist a little bit. Activate through the legs. And if you lifted that back knee, drop it back down towards the earth. And then bend the back knee to draw the heel towards the glute. Maybe you reach the hand back to grab the foot as well. Adding a little bit of a quad stretch here, kicking that foot into the hand to activate the front of the leg. And gently releasing that foot down, releasing the hand down to frame the front foot. And then gently draw that right knee back underneath into our tabletop. Beautiful. Inhale for cow pose. Exhale, cat pose. Coming back to neutral and taking that to the left side. So the left foot comes up in between the hands here, low lunge. Back knee is down, front knee is over that ankle. Rising up with the arms as you're ready. Relaxing those shoulders down the back again here. And of course, option always to find a little movement. Maybe pressing through that front foot and finding a rocking motion. Or maybe holding strong and still. And maybe a limitation comes up here. If you're always moving in the postures, explore that stretch zone of holding still. or vice versa. Gently releasing those hands back down to frame the front foot. And exhaling into our half split. Lengthen through that front leg. Walking the hands back under the shoulders. Flexing the toes up towards the knee. Inhaling back forward, bend through that front leg. Taking our twist again here, right hand plants on the inside of the foot. As you exhale, reach the left arm up and open. Again, option to lift that back knee if you'd like, or keep it down. And then an invitation here to explore that quad stretch again. So dropping the knee if you lifted it. Bending at the knee to draw the ankle towards the glutes. Reaching back to grab that foot if you can. A strap towel or shirt can help here. Or you can just keep the heel towards the glute if you can't grab. And then kick that foot into the hand a little bit to activate through the quad muscles. My quads are super tight right now, so this is feeling real good. And then gently releasing that back foot, releasing the arm alongside, and then drawing the left knee back underneath into that tabletop. Inhaling cow pose, exhaling cat pose. Beautiful. Coming back to neutral. Tucking the toes under, and as you exhale, finding your down dog. First one of the practice. Maybe your first one of the day. So take a moment here to settle into your downward dog. You can pedal the feet or walk your dog by bending one knee at a time. Maybe you bend both knees and then lengthen through them. Maybe you find a rolling motion with the spine. Play around with some movement here in down dog. We'll come in and out of down dog throughout the practice today, so just prepare the body to make this almost a home base. So finding comfort here. Maybe not ease, because down dog requires a lot of activation in the body, but comfort. Start to find some stillness in your downward dog if you're still moving. And on your next inhale, roll the body forward, shoulders over the wrists, plank pose. Option to drop the knees down if you'd like here, or keep them lifted. We'll be here for 3 strong breaths. Pressing the heels towards the back of the mat, pushing the hands into the mat to spread the shoulder blades across the back body. Keeping the hips nice and in line with the rest of the body here. Beautiful, nice and strong. Take one more breath in here. And then as you exhale, drop the knees, bend at the elbows, keep them close to the body as you slowly lower chest and hips down to the earth. Untucking the toes when you get there. For baby cobra, as we inhale and lift the shoulders, lift the chin. Keep the gaze down towards the earth so the neck is nice and neutral. Pause in the lift. Continuing to breathe here in this gentle back bend as we open through the heart. Drawing the shoulders down and away from the ears. And one more inhale here. And exhale, release. Forehead comes to mat. Take a moment. And then the next time you inhale, rise up again, baby cobra. Pressing the tops of the feet down to activate the legs. Maybe easing up up the pressure on the hands, possibly even floating them up for a moment to really use the muscles in the back, in the abdomen. One more inhale, and exhale, lower down. Take a breath here. And then as you inhale, tuck the toes under behind you. Press up through plank or tabletop. Exhale, downward facing dog. As you inhale, guide the eyes up towards the top of the mat. And exhale to slowly step the feet towards the hands, coming into ragdoll pose. Feet are hip distance apart. Bend the knees generously. You can allow the arms to release straight down towards the earth, or maybe interlace them, opposite hand, opposite elbow. Or maybe you interlace the fingers and rest them on the back of the head. Playing around with whatever might feel good in the body. Seeing if you can let go of all control to allow gravity to take advantage. You can rock side to side, nod your head yes, or shake your head no. And then if the hands are interlaced, allow them to release down towards the earth. Inhale, halfway lift, come up halfway to lengthen through the spine. Crown of the head reaches towards the top of the mat. From your halfway lift, lean into the toes a little more. Lift the tailbone up towards the ceiling. Beautiful. Draw the hands up towards the hips. Bend the knees a little bit more here and rise all the way up to stand with a nice long spine. Awesome. So grounding down into our Tadasana mountain pose here. Peek down at the feet and spread the toes nice and wide. Rooting down through all four corners of the feet. And then draw those thigh muscles into the bones, activating through the legs. Roll the shoulders up by the ears as you inhale. And then exhale, roll them down the back. Turn the palms towards the front of the mat. Take a breath in here. And a breath out. Taking a few moments here in this strong mountain pose, this power pose. As you revisit that intention again around breaking the boundaries, breaking those self-imposed limitations. How can you cultivate your own power, your own strength? Where do you feel it in your physical body? The next time you take a big breath in, reach the arms up overhead, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana, fold forward, hinging at the hips, bending the knees if you need to. Inhale, half lift, Ardha Uttanasana, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold and release. Inhale, rising up, Urdhva Hastasana, lengthen through the body. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, tall as a mountain. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take one more half sun salutation on your own, following the pace of your breath. Moving as slowly or as quickly as the body feels called to. Pausing anywhere that feels good. Eventually meeting everybody up in Tadasana. Take your time. Don't feel pressured by looking at where others are at. Beautiful. Adding on this time, inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, reach up. Exhale, Uttanasana, fold forward. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold and release. Bend the knees to plant the hands onto the earth. Step back into plank pose. 3 breaths here, nice and strong. Everything is active. Knees can drop if you'd like. One more breath in here. And then exhale, drop the knees if you want. Otherwise, lower the body all the way down to the mat, nice and safe. Beautiful. Untuck the toes. Inhale, cobra pose. Maybe you lift a little higher if you're ready this time. Exhale, release. One more lift here. Inhale. Exhale. And tuck the toes under as you inhale. Press through plank or tabletop. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, gaze towards the top of the mat. Exhale, step the feet forward for forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands to heart. Beautiful. Breathe in to reach up. Breathe out, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold and release. Stepping back to plank pose. 3 breaths here. Activating through our core here, building some heat in the body. And the next time you're ready, exhaling down either all the way or maybe halfway through Chaturanga. Inhaling through Cobra or upward facing dog. Exhaling back into downward facing dog. So starting to find your vinyasa here. We'll revisit that throughout our practice today. Using whatever variation of postures in your vinyasa feels good. Sticking with baby cobra, maybe doing cow pose, or upward dog. As you inhale, gaze towards the top of the mat. Exhale, step, hop, or float, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Beautiful. Last one, sun salutation. Find your flow here. Let's all meet in down dog together. Breathing in and out at your own pace. Moving in and out of these poses as the body feels ready. Letting the breath be your guide instead of me. Remembering that this is your practice. You're in control on your mat. Beautiful. From your downward facing dog, inhale the right leg high. Exhale, draw the knee towards the nose, hover for a crunch. Inhale back. Exhale, crunch. Once more, breathe in to lengthen. Breathe out, draw the knee towards the nose, this time stepping the foot up in between the hands. And setting up here for Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2, spin the back heel down. And windmill the arms open wide. Beautiful. Fingers are reaching in opposite directions, bending deeply through that front knee, and then gently pressing that front knee out towards the pinky toe. So we're finding that open stance here. Energetically drawing the heels of the feet towards the center of the mat to keep the legs active. Inhale, flip the front palm towards the sky. Exhale, reverse your warrior, reaching up and back. And back arm can be rested on the thigh or maybe on the low back for some support. Keep the legs strong and active here as you open through the right side body. Maintain your breath. And inhale to rise through warrior two. Exhale, extended side angle pose. Right forearm to the top of the right thigh. Reach the left arm up and across. Beautiful. Finding a nice long line from the edge of that left foot to the fingertips on the left hand. And then pressing through that right forearm to create space on both sides of the body. Nice, Sindhu. Inhaling up, warrior two. Exhaling here for strength. One more breath in. And exhale, cartwheel the hands down to frame the front foot. Step back into plank pose and find your vinyasa. Maybe moving through chaturanga, up dog, or cobra. Eventually guiding yourself into downward facing dog. And when you're there, inhaling the left leg high. Exhale, knee to nose for a crunch. Inhale back. Exhale, crunch. One more, breathe in. Breathe out. Step the foot up in between the hands here. Warrior two on the left side. Heel spins down. Windmill those arms up and open. Rooting down through the feet. Front knee is tilting out towards the pinky toe for that wide stance. Heels drawing towards the center of the mat here. Inhale the front palm up. Exhale, reverse the warrior. Legs are strong and rooted. Opening through the left side here. Again, resting that back arm wherever it feels good. And inhaling up, warrior two. Exhale, extended side angle pose. Left forearm to the thigh, right arm reaches across the body. And checking in with everything active here. So that nice long line from the edge of the foot to the fingertips. That pressure from that left arm on the thigh to create space. And also that rotation of the heart or the collarbone over towards the right side of the mat. And inhale to rise, warrior two. Exhale here for strength. Beautiful, one more breath in. Exhale, arms cartwheel down. Find your flow into down dog, whatever that means for you. Maybe you go straight there. Child's pose is always an option. When you're down dog, take a big breath in. And open mouth, exhale. One more just like that. Breathe in. Breathe out. Beautiful. Inhale the right leg high. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale back. Exhale, crunch. Once more, breathe in, lengthen back. Exhale, step the foot up and through. Warrior two, back heel spins down. Root to rise, legs are strong. Beautiful work. Inhale, flip the front palm up. Exhale, reverse your warrior. One breath here. Inhale through warrior two. Exhale, extended side angle pose. Pausing here for one breath as well. Rising up, warrior two. And this time as you exhale, lengthen through the front leg. And find triangle pose here. So arms stay out wide. You can grab a block if you'd like some support. Otherwise, inhale, reach the right fingertips towards the top of the mat. Exhale, tick-tock the right arm down to a block, the shin, ankle, or maybe the mat. Reaching the left arm up towards the sky. Beautiful. Again, channeling that rotation of the chest or the collarbone, this time to the left side of the mat. A triangle pose is a great hip opener, leg opener, but it's also a twist. So we're activating through the core muscles to maintain it. One more breath here. Beautiful. The next time you exhale, release that top arm down to the mat to frame the front foot. And step back to find your flow into downward facing dog. Nice work. One more side here, everyone. Inhale the left leg high. Exhale, knee to nose, crunch. Inhale back. Exhale, crunch. Once more, breathe in, lengthen back. And exhale, step that foot up in between the hands. Warrior two, left side. Rising up. Legs are strong. And inhaling that front palm up, exhaling to reverse your warrior. One breath here. Inhaling to rise. Exhale, extended side angle pose. One breath here. Inhaling back up through warrior two. And exhaling to lengthen through the front leg, setting up for triangle pose, Trikonasana here. Grabbing that prop if you like. Inhaling the left fingertips forward. Exhaling left arm down to shin, ankle block or mat. Reaching the right arm up. Again, channeling that activation of the upper body here. So no matter where your bottom hand is, notice if you're dumping a lot of weight there and see if you can lift through the top fingertips so that it's more of a float here in triangle pose. What barriers, what boundaries are you breaking down with this challenge? One more breath here. And as you exhale next, releasing that right arm down towards the mat, framing the front foot, and find your way into downward facing dog. From our down dog, take a big breath in. Big open mouth breath out. Inhale to gaze towards the top of the mat. Exhale, step, hop, or float, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, Urdhva Hastasana, lengthen through the body. And exhale, hands to heart. Beautiful. I don't know about y'all, but I'm a little sweaty here. We're going to move into some neutral positions and some balancing postures here. So grounding down through the feet. Let's take the feet about hip distance apart here. And then again, spread the toes nice and wide if they're not already there. I'm going to move into chair pose. So as you inhale, reach the arms straight up overhead. As you exhale, bend the knees, sit the hips down and back. Beautiful. Maintaining the natural curvature of the spine here, so not cranking the neck and the shoulders up, but keeping the core nice and active. Peek down at the toes, make sure you can still see them. If not, lean back slightly. Beautiful. Take a breath in. Exhale, sink the hips a little lower. One more inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Hands come down to the mat. Step the left foot straight back behind you. So the feet are still hip distance apart here, kind of a wider stance than we would take for warrior two, rising up into a high lunge. So the ball of the back foot's pressing into the mat. Hips are squared towards the top of the mat as well. Arms can reach up straight overhead. Beautiful. And that back leg can be straight with the heel pressing towards the earth, or if that's uncomfortable on the low back, maybe you bend the back knee a little. See how that feels. Beautiful. We're going to prep for balance here by really activating through this front right foot. So take an inhale as you lengthen through the arms. Exhale to lean forward into that front foot. Airplane the arms back behind you. Press the ball of the foot forward a little bit. Nice. Inhale back up to high lunge, crescent warrior. Exhale forward, airplane. Lean into that front foot. One more time, inhale up. Exhale, airplane forward. Hold it here. So more weight is in the front foot than the back foot here. So really leaning on the tippy toes of that ball of the foot. Front knee is still right over that ankle. Chest is lifted and active. One more breath in here. And out. Beautiful. Inhale to rise up. Exhale, twist over to the right side. So arms can be out wide in a T here if that's good for you. Or maybe you want to bring that left elbow to the outside of the right knee. You decide what feels better. We'll take 3 breaths here. Beautiful. Exhaling to release back to center. Take one more inhale. Then exhale, release the hands towards the earth. Step the left foot forward, forward fold. Pause here for a moment. Maybe you turn it into a ragdoll if that feels better. Take a couple breaths. And then inhale to rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Nice. One more side here. Inhale, reach those arms up. Exhale, chair pose. Bend the knees. Sit those hips down and back. Holding here for 3 deep breaths. Nice and active. Core is engaged. Beautiful. Next, inhale, rise up to lengthen. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Hands come down. Step the right foot back this time. Feet are still hip distance apart. Nice wide stance here. Rising up, high lunge. Crescent warrior. Front knee is bent. Ball of the back toes are pressing down into the earth. Nice and strong. Beautiful. Setting up to find that balance, practice that airplane. Take a big breath in. Exhale, lean into that front foot. Reach the arms back. Inhale up. Exhale, reach it back. Once more, breathe in, reach up. Breathe out, airplane. Pausing here on this last one. Really rolling onto the tips of those back toes. Chest is wide and open. Pressing through that front foot. Maybe you're starting to shake a little bit like me. Find those limitations, break those boundaries, hold here, find the strength. And inhaling up, high lunge. Exhaling to twist, over to the left. Again, arms can come out to this T, or maybe you find that prayer with the right elbow hooked on the outside of the left knee. Beautiful. Inhale back through center. Exhale, arms release down. Step forward. Forward fold for 2 deep breaths here. And inhaling up to rise. Exhaling, hands to heart. Beautiful. We're going to come into our last standing posture here, balancing in warrior 3. So you can, if you'd like, if you have access to blocks and you want to place some blocks at the top of the mat to have this extra support, you can. You can also just be nice and close to a wall if you want some support in this posture. Otherwise, we'll start by grounding down through the right foot. Spread the toes wide. Root down through the foot. Draw the left knee up towards the chest. Start by finding a one-legged Tadasana here, rooting down through the right foot. Drawing the hands to heart center. And then as your balance feels ready, maybe this is all you want today. This is your limitation you want to hold true to. Otherwise, finding warrior 3 by kicking the left leg back towards the back of the mat, leaning the chest forward just like that airplane. Maybe you reach the arms back as well like the airplane. Flexing the back toes down towards the earth. Finding a place to rest your gaze so you won't be distracted. Let's find this for 3 deep breaths. If you fall out, just come back in. Remember, the success is in trying. The success is in showing up. Beautiful. One more breath here. And then inhaling to slowly and gently rise. Maybe that knee pulls back into the chest once more. And then releasing it down. Shake out those legs. And we'll go over to the left side. Spreading the toes, rooting into the mat, into the earth. Gently bringing that right knee up. One-legged Tadasana to balance. Draw the hands to heart center. And then using your breath to guide you back. Warrior 3. Whatever way feels right for you. Back toes are flexed down. Pinky toes rolling inward so the hips are squared. Maybe you find those airplane arms. Fingers reach back. Find your focus. Find your strength. Break down those walls. You're manifesting right now through this action that beauty of being able to just try things. As you inhale, slowly rise back up. Maybe drawing that right knee into the chest once more. And releasing down. Beautiful. Shake it out. And congratulate yourself. We're going to move down to seated on our mat. And catch our breath. And start to wind down here. Finding Dandasana, staff pose. Lengthen the legs out long in front of you. We'll take a seated forward fold before we roll onto our backs. So rest the hands alongside the hips to start. Toes are flexed up towards the knees. You can have a bend in the knees here if that feels better on the back. So really we want to determine where are we going to find this nice extension of the spine that's natural. So if straightening the legs causes a curve, bend them to create space. Or maybe sit up on a blanket or pillow. Take an inhale here to lengthen the crown of the head high. As you exhale, maybe you walk the hands forward. Keeping that long spine to find your fold. Beautiful, Bianca Sinjo. I love the straps. It's a great tool to have for this stretch. Otherwise, just release the neck. And see if you can melt into the pose here. We'll be here for 5 deep breaths. Starting to find some ease in the body. Starting to rest a bit after putting the body through a little bit of stress. Hopefully you're feeling a little more energized here. Using this closing few minutes together to find the strength that we've cultivated in the practice and hold it in. To rest on it. To let it seep into our heart, into our soul, so we can carry it with us after this practice as well. As you inhale, slowly start to rise the upper body back. If you have that strap, release it down. And let's come all the way down onto the back, maybe scooching the hips forward, lowering down as slow as you can. And we'll hug the knees into the chest. Maybe take some rocks side to side. Or maybe taking circles with the knees one way and then the other. Keep the right knee hugged in towards the chest. Lengthen the left leg out long on the mat. So hug that right knee in nice and tight. Maybe even take some circles or rock that right knee side to side, working into that hip a little bit. We're going to find a half happy baby pose. So extend that foot towards the ceiling. Keep the knee bent as you grab that outside edge of the right foot. You can use a strap here if you'd like, or maybe you just grab the back of the right thigh or the right ankle if that feels better. But really pulling that right knee out and open towards the armpit. Keep the left leg flexed and active. Both hips and sit bones are down onto the earth here. And then gently releasing that half happy baby, keeping the right knee in towards the chest. We'll find a twist here, so grab the outside of the right knee with the left hand. Take the right arm out to a cactus on the right side of the body. Take a breath in. Exhale, drop the right knee over to the left side. Maybe shift the hips towards center a little bit to deepen into the twist. So the right hip is coming up off of the mat for this twist here. And you might have the right foot or knee really close to the ground, or maybe they're uplifted. You can put a block, a pillow underneath that leg to support you. Let's take a few breaths here. Maybe your gaze shifts over towards the right side. And the next time you inhale, start to draw that right knee back to center, neutralizing those hips if they shifted. And let's switch sides. Lengthen the right leg, draw the left knee into the chest. Maybe taking a couple rocks side to side again. And then setting up to find that half happy baby here. Bending that knee towards the armpit, grabbing ankle, outside of foot, or maybe thigh, whatever works for you, or using a strap here. Breathing into this nice hip stretch. Maybe you started to notice your breath slowing down, your body cooling down a bit, finding a little ease in the physical body. Releasing that happy baby, setting up to twist over to the left. Right hand comes to the left knee, left arm comes to cactus. Breathe in. Exhale, drop the knee to the right. Maybe shift those hips over towards the left to create space. Settling in here, gazing over that left shoulder if it feels good. And then inhaling gently back to center, neutralizing those hips. Maybe you draw that right knee back in. Give yourself one more hug. And then releasing into Shavasana, our final resting pose. And we'll take a few minutes here in Shavasana. I want to honor and recognize that 5:30, so if you have to run, no worries at all. But if you have the time, join us in this resting practice together for a few minutes. Melting into the mat. Turning the palms up towards the ceiling to roll the shoulders down and away. And take a moment here as you ease into your Shavasana to reflect on the intention you set. When you approached these self-imposed limitations on the mat today, what did you do? What did it look like for you today to not fear those limitations, but instead work to break them down, to challenge them? And what successes came from that? Allow the celebration of those successes to ease you into a moment of rest. Starting to bring your awareness back into the room, into the breath. Inviting some gentle movement back into the body, wiggling the fingers and toes. Maybe rolling the wrists and ankles. Reaching the arms up long, overhead for a full body stretch. As you're ready, bending the knees and inviting yourself onto one side. Taking a last moment of reawakening and re-arrival. And then as you feel called and ready, pressing up to a comfortable seat. And we'll take a few moments to close our practice together. Invite you to draw your hands to heart center if that feels good for you. Before we leave this space, take this concept of not fearing your limitations, but confronting them with you off of the mat. What self-imposed limitations are coming up for you in your everyday life? Start to recognize what they might be holding you back from. And take one small step at a time to break them down. Reminding yourself constantly that the success is in the trying, is in the showing up. Take a big breath in and out. Inhale. Exhale. One more big breath of strength. And exhale. Gratitude for the practice. Draw the hands or the thumbs up to rest in between the eyebrows at the third eye center. May all beings be happy and free. May our words, actions, thoughts contribute to the happiness and well-being, and safety and freedom of ourselves and of others. And may we all be at peace. Namaste.